Hello everyone. Can I have a quick note if you can see my screen? If you want, you can chat with me as well. No issue. Yes, so okay. So in the meantime, please grab your notebook pencil. So before starting for the non-parametric test, we should know some basic test what we should use. So please take your few minutes and grab your notebook pencil. Then we will start. Okay, so like, do we have any doubts or any question with respect to the T test? Anyone? Any questions from the last class? Levine test, all those things? No? Okay, no issue. So in today's class, what we are doing is the non-parametric test for the T test. Correct? Now, if your data is normally distributed, just try to focus on the important test what you are going to learn. In between, if you are getting some time, then I'm going to give you some advanced touch of all the tests. So, during the data analysis, the first thing what we all should check is the data normality. The first thing what we all should check is the data normality. Now the question comes, why we need to check this part? Anyone? Any guesses? Why we should check this part? If I'm getting your data to analyze, I can directly put some tests, no? Chi-square, t-test and all those things. But the first thing what we do should is like to check the data normality. Why? Anyone? Why? Any guesses? After Meghna, anyone? No? Okay. So like thing is very simple. This number also behave like a children. So if you might have seen some individual like a very small like a small individual, so numbers behave in the same way. So to check how these numbers are behaving, we need to check the data normality. The best people are like what? Who are very sincere. So sincere in the terms of number are those who are nearby the central tendency or the mean value. So if your data is like equally distributed, we have to apply somewhat parametric tests like unpaired t-test, ANOVA, one-way ANOVA, all those things. Sometimes what happen, your numbers will not behave in a good way. So they will be like rotating here and there. So in that situation, what is going to happen? Your number will be like too much spread from the mean value. Correct? So if your numbers are too much spread from the mean value, that indicate that your data is not equally distributed. Data is not equally distributed. Equally distributed. Correct? Now what happens if I'm applying the parametric test for data that is not equally distributed? Anyone? Error in data. Of course, as such, if I'm suppose the data is not equally distributed and I'm applying some t-test. Suppose we are using unpaired t-test for this part, or I'm using some paired t-test for this part. I might be getting some significance out of it, but the chances of false data is more. How come? This will promote type 1 and type 2 errors for your data. That's why we should always check what data normality before performing the data analysis. Now, yesterday class, sorry, a day before yesterday, we had learned about the t-test, one sample t-test, two sample t-test, and all those things. Now, suppose your data is not equally distributed, so we need to change the test. We cannot apply pair t-test, unpaired t-test, one sample t-test. We need to apply some different tests. Now, remember one simple thing that if you are having pair test, if you are applying some pair test, if data is equally distributed. In the case, if it is not, then we have to apply what? Wilcoxon test. We have to apply what? Wilcoxon test. Correct? In the case of independent sample t-test or unpaired t-test, we have to apply what? Mann-Whitney U-test. Mann-Whitney U-test. This part you should be able to remember properly. So if your data is equally distributed, apply pair t-test, unpair t-test. If it is not, apply what? Wilcoxon test and Mann-Whitney U-test. Simple. Now, this part nowadays we have to report in the method section of the every research paper. Now, in the section of the methodology, we need to make two paragraphs. One is sample size calculation. One is sample size calculation. The other part is what? Your statistical analysis. What test you have applied and at which criteria you have taken the significance. That is 5% or 10% or anything about it. Right? This is what 95% in short. This is what 90% in short. Correct? So do we have any doubts? Any doubts? So I hope this part is clear. A very basic we are discussing. Very, very basic. Clear? Okay. Now, if you can recall the last class, what we were discussing about the standard deviation and the mean deviation. Now, if you can recall the difference, why in the research paper we are using ST but not MD? Anyone? Meghna, can you answer? Pooja? Anyone? In the research paper, we are reporting mean plus minus ST but not mean plus minus MD. Why? Why? Anyone? Independent of science. Okay. Remember two terms we were discussing last time. Two terms were what? One is direction and one is magnitude. So what the first term indicate? Direction. That means a number should be containing two numbers, that is positive and negative, right? So in the positive part, that means our data is in the positive side. What about the negative part? It's in the opposite side. The next thing what we are having is the magnitude. It tells about the data differentiation, how much data is differ. Suppose it is x2 minus x1, d is coming, that difference. Okay, now in the case of SD, direction is there, the other part is also there, magnitude. What about the MD? In MD we have magnitude but we don't have direction. Correct? There's two terms you have to remember for your lifetime, directions and the magnitude. The same thing is going to happen for the next part as well. Now, what we are discussing first thing is the Wilcoxon mesh test. The first thing is the Wilcoxon matched pair signed two samples. Correct? Now, if you see the proper block, what we are getting is the compare median. So what we are having? Compare median difference to the hypothesized, in which we are getting two tests. One is what? Sign test, two samples, and Wilcoxon test, again two samples. So what is the difference between these two parts? Because both tests are coming under single block, sign test and Wilcoxon test. So what is the difference between these two tests? And as per the practice, why we are using Wilcoxon? Any guesses? Anyone? Anyone? In the practice, in the analysis, we always use Wilcoxon pair sign test, but we don't use sign test. Even though they both are carrying what? Two samples and two samples. But still we use what? Wilcoxon match pair test. So answer me. Or any guesses? Anyone? Both will do, Meghna. Both tests will do all these things. Okay, the answer is very simple, same like SD and MD. Correct? What about sign test? What about sign test? Sign test, remember again our two terms are direction and our magnitude. Now in the sign test, we are having what? Direction, but not magnitude. That means sign test will allow us to perform a number test. That means negative, positive, we can check. We can check whether my data is in the positive side or in the negative side. But we cannot check the magnitude, how much data is differing from each other. That part we cannot check. But Wilcoxon test, if you are applying a Wilcoxon test, this test allowing us to perform both together. That is what our direction and our magnitude. Simple. So this is the reason why we are using Wilcoxon test, not sign test. Simple. Same like MD and ST. Everyone all done? Any doubts? Any questions for me till now? So if your data is equally distributed, apply paired sample t-test. If not, then apply what? Wilcoxon match test. Two samples. Correct? What about if you are having one sample t-test? Then we have to apply what? Wilcoxon match pair sign test, one sample. For that, we have to apply one sample, not two samples. Correct? I hope this part is clear to everyone.
Sir, can you like please repeat those things, sir?
Which things?
That paired Wilcoxon and independent unpaired Mann Whitney. Can you just like be clear one more time?
Okay, so like you want the entire things again, no?
No,
Okay.
no, just the introduction, sir. Like you had told in the beginning, just the introduction. That's all.
Okay. Now, suppose if you are having a data that is equally distributed, that means you have to apply what? Pair t-test. If it is not, then what? You have to apply Wilcoxon test. Correct? What about the data which is you are performing the unpaired t-test? If it is equally distributed, then apply what? Unpaired t-test. If not, then apply Mann-Whitney U-test. Simple. Now, in the case of SD and MD, which one is better? SD is better. Why? Because it is allowing us to learn more about the direction plus the other part. Correct. What about the MD? It allows us to check only for the magnitude, but not about the direction part. Correct. Now, uh, if your sample is like before and after test, what we apply for the paired sample t-test, you have to apply what? Paired sample t-test. If data is not equally distributed, then what? You have to apply what? Wilcoxon match pair t-test, two samples. Now, even though in this block we are getting two parts, that is sign test and the Wilcoxon match pair test, right? Now, sign test will not allow you to have the magnitude. This will only give you direction, but not magnitude. So that's why we are not using sign test for our practice part. We always use Wilcoxon. Why? Because it allows us to check both direction and the magnitude for our test. Correct? The next thing what we are having is the estimate CI interval. Now, if you want, you can ignore this part. Little bit advanced, I'm going to give you some things, but you just have to focus on what? Wilcoxon match pair T test. Okay. The next thing what we are having is the Hodges test, two samples. This will give you the confidence interval of your data. That's it. This is giving you only one thing, that is the CI interval. Whether you are taking 95 or 90%, totally up to you, but this will give you only confidence interval, lower and the upper value. That's it. Now we are having one more test, that is McNamara test. Now suppose you are doing one study. Suppose in this class we have suppose Arun and Meghna. So Arun is doing one study in which he is taking samples before and after, but in the case of uh, category, yes or no, yes or you know, that way. Now suppose Arun did one program in which pre-test individual scored passed or fail, passed or fail, passed, passed, and afterwards some intervention he again checked the test and we are getting fail, fail, pass, pass, pass. There is no scores. We are having only two things, that is pass, fail or tails head. In that way, in that part we need to apply what? McNamara test. If your data is having some numerical value, suppose in this class I'm taking some test in which suppose people scored out of 20, 10, 15, 18, 17, 16, 14 out of 20. Now for this part we have to check the post test also. Now suppose after my classes your exam score improved, suppose 10 to 12, 15 to 14, 10, 20, then 19, then 18, then 10. So if your data is in the continuous variable, you have to use what? A paired sample t-test or Wilcoxon test. Wilcoxon test. Correct? Now, suppose you are taking pass or fail, directly pass or fail. There is no role of numbers. Suppose first test, individual passed, three individual failed. After the intervention, all passed. All individual passed. So we are having some category over there, pass or fail. So for this part, we have to use what? McNamara test. Correct? The other thing what we are having is the Cochrane Q test. Now, Cochrane Q test you have to use when you are checking the difference in three or more dependent group. Now, suppose we have three faculties for the statistics part. We have three faculties to teach you SPSS. Suppose. Now, all these three faculties use their own method of teaching. Suppose I'm using my iPad to teach you people like how these tests are working and all those things. Suppose other faculty use laptop, third faculty use PPT presentations and all those things. Now, we have three different methods among the same class. So what is going to happen? We are having same number of individual, but we are having three different interventions. So that part we have to use what? Cochrane Q test. This is all advanced part. So if you want, you can directly focus on what? Wilcoxon test and sign test. That's it. No, Mohit, no. See, things are very simple, Mohit. Even though if you are grading 1, 2, 1, 2, suppose we are having male, female. We are grading one male, female, female, male. This is not the continuous variable. So what is the continuous variable? In which we are getting some numbers out of it. Suppose 14, 18, 20, 42, 48, 50. This is what known as continuous variable. This 1, 2, 1, 2 itself indicate what? A categorical data. So there is no need to apply 1, 2, 1, 2 pair t-test or Wilcoxon test. So a pair t-test, Wilcoxon test, they need continuous variable only. That's it. Last part what, Kirtana? That three teachers. Okay, okay. Yes, Bala. Yes, we are doing. Yes, yes. This Cochrane Q test is like what? Suppose in this class, let me take three people only. Okay, so one is Bala, next one is Kirtana, and one we have Mohit. Okay. Now, these three people use their own method of teaching or their own method of practicing something out of it. Okay. And they have around 20 individual of their own class. Right? Now, I want to check which faculty is teaching much better. Is it Bala, Kirtana, or Mohit? Right? Even though we are having the same group of individual in like all the intervention, correct? So that part to check which faculty is doing much better, there we have to apply what? A Cochrane Q test. If you are having two intervention, like if you are having only one intervention, suppose pass like before after, but you are having what? Pass fail, pass fail, pass fail, pass fail, apply what? McNamara test. If you are having data in the continuous variable, then apply what? A Wilcoxon test or paired sample t test. Correct? Any doubts now? Bala, Kirtana? No. Okay. Any doubts now? Others? Anyone? No? Clear? Clear to everyone? Okay. The next thing what we are having is the Mann-Whitney U test. Okay. Then Kolmogorov test is there. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Good. Okay. Now in this part, just try to focus. If your data is equally distributed, we have to apply what? Independent t-test or unpaired t-test. We have to apply. If your data is equally distributed, if your data is not equally distributed, then we have to apply what? A Mann-Whitney U test. Remember this part. If data is not equally distributed, then what? Apply Mann-Whitney U test. Sir, continuous number can be for any variable. See, continuous will be for some variable that will be in the that part only. If I'm taking your age, so in this class we are having individual of age 20, 21, 22, 24, 25. That is what? A continuous variable in which that numbers are coming, a lot of numbers. Okay. Then we have other thing that is the categorical format in which we are having some categories like male, female, UG, PG, higher degrees, pass, fail, heads, tail. Correct? Ramya, done now? Kirtana, it is non-parametric test now, sir. We can't go with paired tests. I'm not catching you, Kirtana, what you're asking specifically. See, if your data is equally distributed by the Shipro will test, will tell you all these things. If it is significant, that means data is not equally distributed. If not, then apply Mann-Whitney U test. If it is, then apply what? Unpaired T test. Correct? Just give me a minute. Yes, I'm back. Sorry, everyone. Some important call came up. Yes. This part is done. Ramya question done. Kirtana question is pending. Okay. Now this part is done. Now, if your sample, if you can remember the unpaired t-test what we've used in the Wednesday class. So apart from that, we can use what? Mann-Whitney U test. Again, we are having two samples out of it. Done. The next thing what we are having is the Kolmogorov Smooth two sample test. So if you want to check whether your sample follow a specific pattern or distribution, then we can use what? A Kolmogorov test. Now suppose in this class I want to check. So out of 97 individual, whether my students are having the average height or the tall height or the short height, right? If it is showing the positive skewness, if it's showing the positive result, that means what? People are tall. If zero, then people are like average height. If not significant, then what? People are like short height. As per my hypothesis, what we are giving. So to check the numbers, any differences there or not, apply Mann-Whitney U test. Correct. If you want to check the distribution among your data sample, height, tall, average, short, correct, apply Kolmogorov test. Then we have one more test, that is what? Wald test for two samples. Now suppose in this class, I am having a competition for you people in which we are having a coin toss competition. We are getting head or we are getting tail. So remember this part, Wald test is only for the outcome that is in the binary form. Outcome that is in the what? A binary form. That is what? Head or tail, whether male or female, whether pass or fail. Correct? So what is binary in which we are having two outcomes? Head, tail, male, female, or pass and fail. Correct? Now, suppose if this test is coming significant, that is 0.0.05. If it is coming less than 0.05, this indicate what? That randomness is not there. Correct? So to avoid the bias, to avoid all the things in the study, we should not have some dependency on the teacher. Now suppose in this class, Chandra, Afreen, Meghna contacted me. They told that, sir, please pass me in the exam. So I told, okay, I will pass you in the exam. That indicate what? That this class is not bias free. Some people are getting passing marks because of my favorite conditions. Done. So to avoid such things, we need to apply what? Wald test for two samples. So how to check this thing? What we can do is like, I will get my data of the patients, of my students who is ever passing or fail. Now, if this test is coming non-significant, then I can openly tell that randomness is there. That randomness was present in my class. That means I am not favoring any individual. They are passing or they are failing on their own. I'm not favoring anyone. If this test is coming significant, that means climate people can question me that you have favored some individual in the class. How come you are having a dependency for the test? So if it is coming significant, that means value 0.05. That means it indicate that that randomness is not there and the dependency is there. Correct? Simple. So this is how you catch people who are doing fraud in the statistics. Done? Any questions? Anyone? So if you feel like we are going more advanced, you people can directly focus on the Mann-Whitney U test. Simple. Any doubts with respect to wall test, Kolmogorov test, Mann-Whitney U test? Anyone? No doubts. Okay, good then. Simple. Okay. The next thing what we can take is the one sample t test. If you can recall the Wednesday class in which we were applying the one sample t test. Okay. In one sample t test, we have applied 0. If you can remember, the test value was 0, right? If you want, you can put the your hypothesis value as well. Now, in this entire test, just focus on two parts. That is what a one sample t test and the randomness test, run test. Correct? This is one test. This is like for the one sample t test, the above one for the two sample t test. Correct? So the next thing what we are having is the Wilcoxon signed rank test. This is for one sample. This is for what? A one sample t test. Now, if data is not equally distributed, we cannot apply what? A one sample t test. One sample t test we cannot apply. So what we can apply? We have to apply what? A Wilcoxon signed test one sample. We have to apply. Correct? Yes, Meghna. For that part, you can use for the writing purpose, but for the software, like there's no need for the formula and all those things. But formula you have to mention specifically for the sample size for the publication, not for the test whatever you are applying. Done. So do we have any doubts? No. So let's have a quick revision. Now suppose you are having data that is equally distributed, and one is what? Not equally distributed. Okay. Remember this part. Done. My first question, we are doing pre and post intervention study among the same individual. So what test we have to apply? For the first part, what test we have to apply? Sure, pair T test. Sure, others? Pair T test. My question is very simple. Data that is equally distributed, you are checking pre-post intervention results. So what test we have to apply? Pair test, pair T test. Everyone? I hope like you are all on the same point. Okay. What about pre and post test? In the next category, what test we have to apply? Which test we have to apply? Independent. We are having pre and post intervention test, but data is not equally distributed. Wilcoxon test. Good, everyone. Correct. We are going. Okay. Next condition. Suppose we are having case and control group, or we are having male and female group, and I want to check, is there any difference in the case of hemoglobin among these two groups? Or you can take only one, male or female, or take case or control. I want to check whether we have any difference with respect to hemoglobin. So for such condition, what test we have to apply? Unpaired T test or paired T test? Answer me. Mohit, paired T test. Akshata, unpaired T test. Others?
Unpaired t test. Unpaired t
Unpaired T
test.
test. Others? Independent sample T test, unpaired T test. Others? Okay. Now, same situation we are taking for the next category. Name the test. Name the test.
Mann Whitney.
Yes, Mann-Whitney U test. Others? Mann-Whitney U test. Correct. Now, one more thing what we should remember now. If you are reporting data that is in the equal distribution form, Always report data in the case of mean plus minus ST along with the p-value, whatever you are getting. Correct? If data is not equally distributed, you have to report data in the median form. You have to report data with the use of median with the lower and the upper range. That is what, in short, interquartile range. So first is what? A median. That is what your 50% of the data value with 25% and the 100% of data. That is lower and the upper value. Correct? So you will report data like this. Suppose 20, 10, 50 with some p-value, whatever you are getting. So this is how you have to report data with the unequal distribution. Now question comes why. So with the data that is equally distributed, we are reporting them data in the plus minus form. But data that is not equally distributed, we are applying the interquartile range. Suppose we are writing like this. Why? Tell me why. This is for data that is equally distributed. This is for data that is not equally distributed. Answer me why. Yes, good Kirtana. Because of the outlier. Remember, data that is not equally distributed, they do not behave properly. They are like very small children. They will tend to move here and there. So if they are moving here and there, they will make a lot of outliers. Correct? So to avoid such conditions for the research publication, we have to report the median value, not the mean value. That is why we are reporting with the interquartile range, not the mean plus minus ST. Remember this part. Answer is very simple, to avoid the outliers. That's it. Okay. So I hope this part is done. So do we have any doubts or any questions with respect to the unpaired and paired t-test? Do we have any doubts? Anyone? Anyone? Do we have any confusion? No? Okay. So I think we can practice on SPSS now. So everyone, you can have access to your SPSS now. Please open your SPSS and we can start. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, so I hope you all can see my screen now. Visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's practice on SPSS now. How to apply all this test and how to check whether my data is equally different or not. Now, the first thing what we are doing is the paired sample t-test. So go to your data, find the file location, click on desktop, mine is SPSS class, change the file type to the Excel sheet and select the paired sample t-test. Okay, done. My part is done. Now this is my data. So like I hope you all can follow me now. All done? SPSS open? Everything is done?
Give me a couple of minutes, sir.
Ah yes, please take your time. No issue. In the meantime, do we have any questions or doubts with respect to paired sample t-test, unpaired sample t-test, Mann-Whitney U-test, Wilcoxon test? Anyone? Do we have any doubts? in opening of SPSS software. Mohit, you can like reinstall, or you might be having that i3 Intel because latest version of SPSS are not supported by i3. Others, all done? File transferred? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Done.
Vaishnavi, it is a paired sample T test. Done, Vaishnavi? Others, all done? SPSS opened, data transferred? Yes, 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 done. Okay, done. Okay. Now the first most important thing is data normality. Now in this case, we can see that we are having what pre and post test. Pre and post are available. So if data is like equally there, so we need to apply what a paired sample t test. Now let's check whether my data is equally or not distributed. So how to check it? Go to analyze. Can you all follow me now? Go to analyze, go to descriptive, click on explore. Steps are very simple. Go to analyze, descriptive, explore. Done. Done, everyone? Now, the factors, what I'm going to check now, that is what pre and post test. Now, remember one more thing. We need to change the file type for data also. Here we can see that here we are having data in the continuous format, 14, 12, 10, same for the post test as well. But here we are having some mistake. That is what your pre-test is in the nominal form, not in the scale form. So this you have to change to scale form. Correct? SPSS is not the smartest application, so you need to guide him. Correct? This part is done. Then back to data view, click on analyze, descriptive, and the explore. Now, the factors what we need to evaluate, the factors on which we need to apply the test, those factors you have to select and shift to the dependent list. Done? Everyone? Done? Yes or no? Please give me a quick confirmation so we can proceed also.
Yes, sir. Done.
Done? Others? So like out
Yes, sir,
of
done.
103 only people are practicing only countable numbers, not
Yes, sir,
all.
done, sir.
Done? Okay. So how many of you are like actually practicing with me on the SPSS? Can I have a thumbs up in the chat box? Thumbs up if you are actually practicing with me with the SPSS. Okay, one, Bala. Okay. Only two individuals we are having. Shweta, three. Okay. Four. I just need your thumbs up who are practicing with me on SPSS. Yes, i3 will not support. Mohit, you might be having i3, but better hard disk, still it will not support. You people can try one thing is like, okay, let me show you one more time that thing part again. Application. This might be you were getting after getting the same part. Click on SPSS, click on statistics, click on your version, whatever you are having. You might not be having V69, but you might be having something with V in the starting. Click on this part, the last option, this part. This you have to run as the administrator. Once done, then restart your laptop or your desktop. Done. People who are having i3, you might be facing some issue because SPSS is nowadays is not supporting i3. i3 is like too old now. too much old. Done, everyone? Okay. So I have around many few individuals who are actually practicing with me. So one, two, three, four, five, six, 10 only. That's it. Only 10 out of 103 individuals. Okay. Now remember few important things. Only you have to check those variables on which you are actually applying the test. Now here we are applying what? Pre and post test. Now select those two variables and shift to what? A dependent list. Next step is what? Statistics. Nothing to change. Continue. Plots. Click on normality plots with test. Click on what? Normality plots with test. Click on continue, then click on OK. Now we are getting this table in the hand, correct? In this part, check for the kurtosis 0.974, squiness 0.118. We can tell that data is not equally distributed. So other thing what you can check for the Shiproville test and the Kolmogorov test, correct? What about the Shiproville test? Anyone? Can anyone help me with that part? This test is what? Shipro test is showing what? Significance or not significant? Anyone? Significant? Simple, I'm asking. No. Here we are having Shiproville test, and here we are having the value of P, that is significant P value we are getting 0.002, 0.004 for what? Pre and post test, correct? So if Shiproville test is significant, it indicates the data is not equally distributed. Done, everyone? Simple till now? Simple? Remember one thing, if Shiproville test is significant, it indicates that variable, that data is not equally distributed. So this is our green flag to what? To what? Non-parametric test? Yes or no? Am I going too fast or like it is too advanced for you people? Too fast I am going? Okay. Others? Too fast. Okay. So we are lacking where now? Tell me. We can repeat now. Tell me. Too fast, too fast. Okay, okay, okay. No issue. Then I think we can repeat the procedure, no issues. Okay. Now here we are having pre-test and post-test. Uh, this is what our patients, correct? We give some intervention to our individual and we got what? Pre and post-test, correct? Now we need to check whether my patients are improving or not after my intervention. So we need to apply some test, correct? Yes or no? Simple now.
Yes,
The
sir.
question is simple. Question is simple or not now? Yes.
Sir.
Okay. So which test we have to apply now? Parametric test or non-parametric test, that we have to check once we know whether my data is equally or not distributed. Okay. How to check that first part? It's very simple step. Click on analyze. Can you all follow me now?
Yes, sir.
Click on analyze, then click to descriptive statistics, then click on explore. The three steps you can see on the screen as well. Analyze, descriptive, explore. Can you all follow now?
Yes, sir.
Done. Then click on explore. Let me reset. You have to select only those variables in which you are applying the test to determine your hypothesis. Correct? We are having what? Pre and post test. You all can agree now. Correct? These two
Yes,
parameters
sir.
we are evaluating. So shift them to what? Dependent list. You can ignore other parameters. No need to focus on the other parameters, factors, and the label cases. Just focus on the parameters in which you are applying what your parametric or non-parametric test. Select those variables, shift to what a dependent list. Then click on statistics. No need to change anything. Click on continue. Click on plot. Always click on what? Normality plot with test. This will give you what? A Shipro test. Correct? Now click on continue. Then no need to change anything afterwards. Then click on OK. Once done, we are getting this one table, second table, and the test for normality. In this part, focus on the Shipro test. Can you all focus now? Can you all appreciate the presence of Shipro test? Others? Still too fast or like any issues now?
Yes, sir.
Clear till now, everyone? Done now? Okay. Now, if Shipro test is coming significant, that means p-value of less than 0.05. This indicate what? That Shipro test is significant. Significant test indicate that your data is not equally distributed. So for such part, we cannot apply paired sample t-test because your data is what? Not equally distributed. How come? Shipro test is significant. Correct? If your data is significant for Shipro test, we cannot apply pair sample t-test. Now what to apply? Tell me. We are having pre and post test after the intervention among the same individual. Correct? We are getting significant Shipro test. So what test we have to apply now? Wilcoxon or Mann-Whitney U test? Answer me. Wilcoxon or Mann-Whitney U test? Wilcoxon?
Wilcoxon. Wilcoxon.
Wilcoxon. Shivam? Arun? Fine now? Nikhil? Gopni? Bala?
Yes, sir. Fine.
Is it fine now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, done. Now the question comes how to apply Wilcoxon t-test. Because for the paired sample part, it is very simple to go. Go to analyze, go to compare mean. We are having all tests in one shot. Mean one sample t-test, unpaired and paired sample, we are getting in one shot. But how to apply Wilcoxon test now? Now in the same table, we are having non-parametric test also. Correct? Now we are getting two options out of it. Just try to focus on your screen once. We are having one sample, unpaired, and the related samples. If I am going to the next part, that is the legacy dialogues, we are having what chi-square binomials run one sample, two sample, and two different same samples. So this part you can completely ignore as such of now. Completely ignore. Just try to focus on the non-parametric test and the starting three options, whatever we are getting. Now I know that in this part, I needed to apply what a paired sample t-test, but Shipro came significant. So we have to apply what a Wilcoxon test. So what to do now? Non-parametric, one sample, no. We are having same test, like we are having same paired sample t-test, right? So we are having the related samples. So click on related samples. Done. This part is done.
Yes, sir.
Simple now. Simple.
Yes, sir.
Others?
Yes, sir. Done.
Bala, Arun, others? Simple now. Because we are having the same like individuals before after test. That's why we are applying what? A related sample. Go to analyze, go to your non-parametric, click on related samples. Why? We are having same patients before and after the intervention. Nothing is changing. That's why we are applying what? Related samples. Correct? Click on related samples. We are getting one more dialog blocks. Now what to do? Go to the field first. Second option, that field part. Now again select your variables that what you wanted to evaluate. Then shift the test field. Done everyone?
Yes,
Sorry,
sir.
not code. Only pre and post test. Done everyone?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Others?
sir.
Others? Others all done? Simple now? Bala? Simple? Okay. The next thing what we're having is a setting. Now click on customize test. Correct. Now if you can recall all the tests Mach number we are having to apply for what? Mach number we have to apply for what? Anyone? Mach number we have to apply for what? Two groups, that is okay. Before, after, same group, that is completely fine. Once you are having data in the categorical format, pass, pass, fail, pass, fail. After the intervention, all pass. So if you are having data that is in the categorical format before and after the intervention, that time you have to apply what? A McNamara test. But here we are having some scores before and after the intervention, correct? So we have to apply what? A Wilcoxon match pair t test. Can you all appreciate the presence of sign test also above one?
Yes, sir.
Can you all appreciate? So for such condition, what test we have to apply? Sign test or Wilcoxon test? Anyone? Wilcoxon, Wilcoxon. Why not sign test?
Wilcoxon.
Why not sign test? Why not sign test? No magnitude. Yes, correct. Remember two terms, magnitude and direction. It give direction only. No, no bala. Bala, it will give direction, but not magnitude. Yes, that's why. So out of two, which one is better?
Wilcoxon is better.
Wilcoxon test. You all agree now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now like speed is fine, right? Not too fast, correct?
Yes, speed is fine, sir.
Speed is fine. Okay. Now select your Wilcoxon test. No need to check for other part. Click on run. So once done, we are getting the simple thing. Only this part. Not any numbers like paired sample t-test. We are getting only one simple thing. That is what? Hypothesis test summary. Our p-value is what? 0.000. Correct. Now, if I need to find the values, what I need to report in my data, so what I can do, again, go to analyze, descriptive, frequency, select your pre and post test, change to variables, go to statistics, click on median, mean, standard deviation, or else click on quartile in one shot. Once done, click on continue. Clear now? Because a non-parametric test will not give me the descriptive parameters, what I need to mention in my data. This will give me only p-value. So what we got? 0.000, correct? But in the research paper, we need to write some values, right? So to obtain those value, we need to report in the interquartile range. Can you all recall? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Can you all recall before the non-parametric test, we should not be able to report in plus minus SD, correct? We have to report what? Mean or median? We use ranges, correct? Median, correct. Okay, now how to find the median for these two variables? It is very simple. Click on analyze, click on descriptive, click on frequency, select the variables, whatever you are looking for, change to the variables part, click on statistics, click on mean, median, quartiles, and the standard deviation. For our practice part, we don't click on mean plus minus ST. We directly click on what? Quartiles. But we are learning now, so I'm taking all the other parameters. But for the main practicing part, for the main practice part, select only quartiles. That's it. Now click on continue, click on OK. Now here we are having the result. Now for the pre-test, what we need to report? How much my patients are scoring? 12. Okay. What is the lower range? 12. So what is the median now? 50. So 50 is the median. Remember this part. So we'll report. Okay, let me open my Word file for the better, like simplifying this purpose. Okay. It is working now. Okay. Done. So let me zoom in for you people. How to make table for this part? Same like yesterday. Okay. Now this is your variable. The next thing of what we are having is a pre-intervention, then post-intervention, and the p-value what we have to report. Okay, so what we have given? We have given the patient education for the intervention. So what to report for the p-value now? First will come median, then the lower range and the upper range, bracket close. So how to report it? It is very simple. 50 percentile, 25 percentile, and the 75 percentile. This is what you need to report. Okay, so what is our 50 now? 12. What about 25 now? Anyone? 12, correct. What
12.
about 75 now? 15.
15.
It is coming what? 15.50, right? Make it 16. Done. Simple now. What about the post test now? Answer me. What about the post test? 16. Okay. What about the lower range? 16 to 18. Correct, everyone. Correct, correct. What about the p-value now? What about the p-value? Anyone? Where is the p-value? Any guesses? Just now we have done, right? See, significant 0.000. Can you all appreciate now? This is your p-value for the Wilcoxon test. Yes or no? Can you follow me or not? Again, we are going too fast. See, so do we have any doubts with respect to the Wilcoxon test? Any doubts with respect to the Wilcoxon test? Yes or no? No? Fine. Okay. Others? Fine, right? The next step is what? To report the data. So remember, we are applying non-parametric test. We have to report data that is in the interquartile range or the median value we have to report, correct? So do we have any doubts on how to find the interquartile range? Yes or no? Any doubts on how to find interquartile range? Yes or no? No? Simple till now? Simple, simple. Now this is the range what we got. Okay, let me remove these two tables. I think this is making you more confused now. Okay, so report only this percentiles. Percentile is the interquartile range. 25, 50 and 75. 50 is what? Median. Correct? If you want, you can match also. 50 is what? Median, that is 12, 16. Median, 12, 16. Correct. Any doubts now? So we got our numbers from this part. 12, 12, 16. What about p-value now? What is the p-value? What is the p-value? 0.00. How to report for the publication? Less than 0.05. Sorry, less than 0.05. Significant we are getting. Correct. This is how you have to perform data for Wilcoxon test. So do we have any doubts now? Any doubts? No? No? Others? Clear, right? The first part is done then. Okay. So for the next thing, we are taking the one sample t test. So let me open my Excel sheet again. Now again, file, new data. Again, now everyone please open the one sample t test. Please open one sample t test. All done? Open one sample t test. Everyone done? Others?
Yes, sir. Done.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me open one sample t test. Open. We are getting this block. Wait, we are getting this thing. Click on OK. Here we are having our value with our hand. Now, first thing first, we need to check whether my data is sorry. Okay. Now my question the same like before. Suppose in our industry you are manufacturing the cough syrup bottles in which you are filling the 150 ml of liquid. Now I need to check whether any deviation is there or not from the 150 ml of liquid whatever we are serving. So if it is more than 150, that means I am in the loss. Correct? The same question we are using like before. Now, first thing first, we need to check what? Whether my data is equally or not distributed. Correct? How to check it? Can someone guide me? Can someone guide me? How to check data normality now? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Pros will test.
Yes, tell me how to check. Guide me the steps.
Analysis, analyze,
Analysis, correct.
descriptive,
Descriptive, then
explore.
correct. Now,
Uh, 1 minute, sir. Chat, sir. Select. What to select, sir?
see, you can ignore from V2 to V16. This is all blanks. This is our main category, what we are having, volume. Correct? Now guide me the next steps.
Volume should be in dependent list.
Yes, correct. Then next,
Check statistics.
statistics. Then,
It is correct means continue.
yes, continue. Then
Then plots.
plots. Then
Normality plots with test.
correct. Next step, tell me.
Continue.
Continue.
Okay.
Next. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Uh, yes. Here's your result. Now tell me, this indicate what?
It is significant. So it is not parametric test.
What is significant?
Be that
Volume part is significant.
not,
Correct.
sir. That
Now in the reporting part, you need to report that Shipro will test came significant. This name is enough. So Cipro is coming significant. Yes or no? Can you all agree? Can you all appreciate this part? Yes
Yes.
or
Yes.
no?
Yes,
Others?
sir.
Simple till now, right? Yes, correct. So we are getting significant Shipro will test. So suppose if it is not significant, then what test we have to apply? Answer me. If it is not significant, then what test we have to apply? Pair T test is for the two parts, Shivam, pre and post test. But here we are having only one group. Now tell me, Meghna, Aftab, Vaishnavi, tail T test. What tail T test? Yes, Mohit, correct. One T test. Yes, one sample T test. Correct, correct. Everyone correct. One sample T test. One sample T test. Correct. Now, but here we are having the significant Shipro will test. So what test we have to apply now? Answer me. What test we have to apply now? Can you recall? Wilcoxon, Wilcoxon is fine, but two sample or one sample? Your answer is correct. Wilcoxon. But Wilcoxon what? Two sample, one sample. One sample? Correct. Everyone is going in a good direction now. Okay, perfect now. One sample, Wilcoxon, one sample, Wilcoxon, one sample. Now, how to perform Wilcoxon one sample? Again, the same steps. Click on Analyze, click on Non-Parametric Test, click on One Sample. We are getting the same dialog block. Simple steps, go to analyze, go to non-parametric test, click on one sample. Once done, we are getting the same dialog blocks. Done everyone till now? Everyone done? Yes, correct. Now go to your field part, remove all the variables first of all, select only volume part that we need to check. Simple, same like what we are doing for the Wilcoxon test, correct? Click on settings now, click on customize test. Now, if you can remember Wilcoxon sign test, one sample, click on this part. Now, we cannot run this test. We need to put some numbers in the hypothesized median value. Now, I was asking you people whether I am making profit or not above 150. So in my cup syrup bottles, we are serving only 150 ml. We are not serving more than it. So I need to check whether my bottle contains more than 150 amount of liquid. So if I'm giving you some certain amount that is 150, that is what my hypothesized median value. If I'm not giving you anything in your hand, just click write 0. That's it. Simple. My question is very simple. Suppose I'm telling Mohit, Mohit, please check whether my industry is in profit or loss. Every cup syrup bottle contain only and only 120 ml of liquid. Correct? So this is my volume. This is my answer to Mohit. So what he will do? He will mention 120 in the hypothesized median part. Correct? If I'm not giving any number to Mohit, I'm just asking, please try to find out whether we are in the significant part or not. Correct? So what to do? Enter 0 because I'm not expecting anything. Right? But my question tells 150 ml we are serving in each bottle. So whether we are making profit or not. Correct? Write 150 in the answer. Then click on run. Correct. We are getting what? Significance? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Can you all appreciate now? Yes. That means we can tell that your hypothesized volume is false. So Mohit can report that no, so your company is making loss. How much? We are not sure, but we are getting significant. That something loss is happening. Now to report the numbers, what Mohit will do, he will go to analyze, go to descriptive, go to frequency. He will select the volume, put into the variable part, go to statistics, click on quartiles, click on continue, click on OK. We are getting what? 152 bracket open, 150 bracket, sorry, dash 154 bracket close. Correct? Can you all follow me now? Simple now. So what Mohit will do? Mohit will tell that company gave me the amount of 150 ml each bottle, whether they are making profit or not. So Mohit find significant difference is there. So how much significant? So Mohit will report that 152 ml is coming in many bottles. With the lower of 150, the higher of what? Higher of what? 154. 150, 154 bracket close. So Mohit can report that significant amount is coming for the company. That means company is making loss of 2 ml. Correct? Bala has sent some picture. Okay, Bala. Okay. What you can do is like you can come to the variable view and check for this part. It might not be in the scale part. So change to scale. Again, data view, click on analyze, click on non-parametric test, one sample test, click on this part, done, write 150, then run the test. Done, Bala? From the quartile part. Yes, Vaishnavi, doing. Now we got our significance value. That means we can reject our null hypothesis. So how to find the exact number for reporting? Go to analyze, descriptive, frequency, select the volume, go to statistics, click on quartiles, click on continue, click on OK. Remove this table. Just focus on the statistics part. Correct. Now what we are getting? Okay, let me open my Word file also. This is what we were getting. So what Mohit will tell that sir told in my company we are giving 150 ml each bottle, correct? Whether he is making profit or not, he needs to find out. So he find out by using the Wilcoxon test that something is coming significant, right? So it is more than 150. So that the profit is not there. So he need to report the volume to me as well. Okay, so what he will tell, your company is giving 152 ml, not 150 ml, with the lower range of what 150, with the highest of what 154. Correct, and this is how you have to report to me. Correct. Now he will tell it is significant difference with 0.05. Correct. Clear now, everyone? Bala done. Vaishnavi done. Mohit, Arun, Shivam, Meghna, Aftab. Clear? Simple things. Others, do we have any doubts? And if I'm asking, Mohit, answer me which test you have applied, then answer me, Mohit. Now I'm asking Mohit. Mohit, okay, you are helping me a lot, but let me know which test you have applied for data analysis. Answer me, Mohit.
Sir, I applied Wilcoxon one sample test.
Wilcoxon one sample test. Yes, correct. Wilcoxon one sample test. This is how Mohit have to report to me, to my industry. Correct, everyone? So do we have any doubts, any questions now? Are we going too fast or like too slow or like okay, okay? Okay, okay. Good speed. Okay, 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 okay. Done. Now let me close this. Let me close this part as well. No, let me close this part as well. Now we are working on the next test. That is what a Mann-Whitney U test. Correct? The next thing what we are learning is the Mann-Whitney U test. Now what we can do, open the data, change the Excel to the Excel part, then open the statistical analysis class practice sheet. Everyone, open this part. Statistical analysis class practice sheet. Done? Gopni, Nikhil, Arun, Mohit, Arun,
Done, sir.
all done? All done, everyone? All done?
Yes, sir.
Done now? Okay, now let me open this part for me also. Okay, now this is my sheet. Okay, here we are having case control, that is 1 to 1 to 1 to we are getting. Now, suppose we are having male, female, suppose one is male, two is female, and vice versa. If you want, you can make no issue. But here, let's take up case and control. Now, let's suppose I want to check whether RBC or MCV. I'm taking random numbers, variables. Okay. Now, suppose RBC or MCV have some difference or not among the case and control. So, what we can do, we have to apply what? Unpaired sample t test. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So first thing
Yes,
first,
sir.
we need to check whether my data is what. Our first step should be what?
Normality.
Data normality. So how to check it? Can someone guide me? Equal distribution. Good, everyone. Good, good. Now, can someone guide me how to check?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. Shivam.
Sir,
Yes. Answer me,
so
Shivam. Yes.
first step, analyze,
Analyze.
then descriptive,
Descriptive.
then explore.
Explode.
We have to choose the variables in the dependent list.
Suppose I'm taking this two part. That is fine
Yes.
to go.
Yes, sir.
Then next step was what?
Statistics.
No. No.
We have to choose that part in the dependent list. That
Dependent list.
variable,
Okay.
RBCs and MCV.
Then next,
Go to the statistics.
statistics. Okay. Then
Then continue.
Then
Plots.
plots.
Then go to the normality plot with test.
Okay,
Continue.
then continue. Okay.
and okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what we are getting? Okay, if I'm not giving you the like significance part, can you identify the data part from the same table? Anyone? Anyone? Without checking the Shiproville test, can you tell me whether my data is equally or not distributed? Anyone?
Yes, sir. It is
Anyone?
Negative.
Can you recall the last class? Can you
Kurtosis.
recall the kurtosis? Can you recall the stewiness? Is it 0? Is it 0? Kurtosis, is it 0? No. Remember, it's a very strict teacher. It is not 0. What about squeakiness? Up to 0.5? Yes or no? No. Then this is what? Data is what? Anyone? Data is what? Any guesses? Any guesses? Yes. Good, everyone. Good. See. Good, Meghna. Good, Mohit. Good, Nihita. Good, good, good. Now, okay. Can Nihita answer me about the RBC? What is Shiproville test is telling us? Not equally distributed. Why? Why? Why, Arun? Why, Arun? That equal distribution. This is what we are doing, Shivam. That Shiproville test, no? Remember the kurtosis. It's a very, very strict teacher. If it is 0, that means data is equally distributed. If it is not, that means data is not equally distributed. Correct. What about the squeakiness? 0, perfectly fine. Up to 0.5, we can agree. Above 0.5, we cannot agree. Correct? So this is how you need to identify in the absence of Shiproville test. But you are getting the privilege to identify with the Shiproville test. We're getting 0.000, 0.000. What about MCV now? What about the MCV now? Significant, same, perfect everyone, good everyone, perfect, perfect. Yes, good, 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 good. Now we know which test we have to apply. Answer me. Which test we have to apply now? Man Whitney, you test, Man Whitney, you test. Correct. Everyone correct. Good, everyone. Good. Good, good. Proud of you all. Okay, so now question comes how to apply Man Whitney you test. How to apply? Go to analyze. Again, non-parametric test. Now what? Now what? What to select now? Wilcoxon is for the pair t-test, Mohit. Wilcoxon is for the one sample t-test. Correct? In the case of paired sample t-test, in the case of Wilcoxon test, what we were getting, we were having the same number of patients before and after the intervention. Correct? In this part, we are having case and control. We are, suppose I am taking male, female. So here we are having two different categories. We are having two set of patients, case and control. We are having two different groups. In the case of paired sample t-test, Wilcoxon test, we have to take individual of the same group, all males, all females, done. All class individuals, done. What about Mann-Whitney test? What about unpaired sample t-test? We will take two different groups, male or female, case or control, diabetes or non-diabetes. Simple. Done, Mohit? Okay. Now, in the same part, which option I should click now? Answer me.
Independent.
Independent. Correct, everyone. Independent. Now, the next step, same like the others, go to the field part. Test field is what? Are RBC and MCV. Correct? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
How come yes? Answer me now. How come yes? Answer me. How come yes? How come RBC and MCV not HB, HCT, MCH? Anyone? Answer me. Answer me. Can you recall this part? What we were checking? RBC and MCV. Yes or no? Yes. Correct. 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 Yes. Correct. Good, everyone. Good, 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 good. Now our groups. Our group is what? Case and control. Correct? Yes or no? Yes. Next step is what? Setting part. Customize. Now what to select? Mann Whitney U test. Correct? Yes or no? Simple. Can you all recall the basics of the class starting? Select the Mann Whitney U test. Then next step is what? Click on run. Now my table is what? My table is where? Okay. Now for the first part, for the RBC, we got significant differences there. Okay. What about the MCV? What about the MCV? Not significant, not significant, not significant. Perfect, everyone. Good. Now we need to report with the numbers as well. So what to do now? Analyze. Now I need one help from individual. I need to report the numbers as well. So can someone guide me? Anyone? Can someone guide me? Because now we are having p-value, but we need to report numbers as well. So can someone guide me?
Yes, sir.
Vaishnavi, can you help me? Or anyone? Kirtana? It was Kirtana, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Kirtana, please tell.
Analyze,
Analyze,
descriptive,
descriptive,
frequency,
frequency,
that that's RCB and MC.
RBC and MCV. Then what?
In variables you should enter.
Variables. Then
Then check statistics.
statistics. Then
Mean, median, standard deviation, and quartile.
quartiles. Okay.
Quartiles.
So we do like we really need mean ST.
No, sir.
No.
Like directly
So
we
can I
can go
remove
with
it? Can I remove it?
yes. Quartile.
Yes. Good. 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 Perfect. Next step is what?
Continue. Continue.
Continue. Next step is what?
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So let me remove this frequency tables. No need. Now tell me. Okay. So let me open my Word file. Okay. So I need someone else now. Kirtana did a good part. Now I need okay. Priya Swami. Am I correct? Spelling it correct?
Yes, sir. Very Sami.
Yes. Sorry for the wrong pronunciation. So I need the help from you. Now tell
Yes.
me how to report the data.
So
Tell me.
for RBC part, P value
Okay.
less than
RBC is there. Then
yes, sir.
MCV is there.
MCV. Yes,
We
sir.
have two groups. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. One is case, one is control.
Yes, sir.
Correct? Okay. Now, what about the case part first? Sorry. Okay. Let me make one more part. That is P value. P value, right? What about the
Yes.
case now? Answer me. Okay. If not, focus on this part. Okay. We are not getting the case and control group differently, right? So what
Yes,
we
sir.
can do, we need to find out the different part now. So go to frequency, RBC, MCV we are getting for this part, right? Now here we can apply the t-test to get the mean value. So for this part, you can report the mean plus minus SD. There is no issue. We can report for this part because we are having two different groups in that way. So what to do now? We will go to the independent sample t-test. We will go to the MCV, case and control grouping part. Then select your RBC and MCV, this
MCV.
part. Then you define groups. Then one is what case, second is what control.
Yes,
Click
sir.
on continue, click on OK. We got our two numbers in our hand. Correct. Now back to our word file. Now answer me for the case.
So for RBC,
RBC is what? For the case, we are getting what?
0.12.
No. Ignore the below table. Just focus on the first part, this part.
Yes, sir. The mean value is 3.098, sir.
09. Perfect. Correct. Then
For
plus minus.
control,
Okay, suppose this is plus minus I'm putting. This is plus minus. Then what?
yes, plus minus 0.9095.
Correct. Good. What about the control part now?
So 3.740 plus or minus
3.74,
1.0063.
1.0063. Good. What about the p value now?
P
Should we
value
take this part? Should we take this part?
this final one, I guess.
Which one?
The last one, sir. Then
But data was not equally distributed, right?
yes,
Then
we may take that table itself.
see, to reporting this part, no, case and control, what the mean value we were getting for the RBC, we can apply the t-test because t-test will give me the entire test in my one hand. We are getting what? Mean plus minus SD for case group. We are getting for the control group as well. But there is no need to report the p-value of independent sample t-test. Why? This is the parametric test. But if you can remember, if you can recall, our data was not normally distributed as per the Shiproville test. That's why we apply what? A Mann-Whitney U test. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Correct. So we need to use what? P-value of what? Mann-Whitney or unpaired sample t-test. Mann-Whitney U
Whitney.
test.
Yes, sir. Man
Why?
Whitney
Because our data is not equally
normally
distributed.
distributed. Yes, sir.
We can report mean plus minus SD. No issue. But
Yes,
we need to report the p-value of what? Mann-Whitney or
Man
the
Whitney.
unpaired t-test? Mann-Whitney test. Perfect. So what is the p-value now?
Less than 0.001. That means P value is
For
less than
RBC getting what?
0.05, sir. Yes, sir. For
0.01.
RBC.
Correct. Now
Yes,
for
sir.
the MCV, I need some other individual. Gopni, can you help me? Okay, we have Shamita also. Shamita, can you help me for the next part? Okay, so we have table here, Shamita. Now answer me, what to report for the MCV part now for the case group? Shamita? No answer? Okay. Mohit, can you help me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
For
Answer me, Mohit, for the case group, what I should report?
the case group, it should be 88.26,
Correct. Plus minus?
10.947.
Correct. What about the control now?
For control, it is 91.46,
Correct. Plus minus?
18.517.
Okay. What about the p-value now?
So p value, it was more than 0.05, so it is not significant.
No, I need the number.
0.605.
Sure. Not this one. 0.295.
No, sir.
Why?
So because we were taking Shiproville test. as a reference.
It was significant or not?
It was not significant.
Not, then of course we can use this part, no? Font 296.
Okay, sir.
Wait, let me show you back. Okay, now tell me about the MCV. Can you check?
Okay, it is significant.
It is significant. Then what should I
Yeah.
report now?
L-
This one or this one? Tell me. Should I report Mann-Whitney U test or unpaired T test?
Mann Whitney, sir.
Why Mann-Whitney am I using?
So because the value was significant, no,
For what?
for MCV.
Of what?
Of what meaning?
MCV value was significant for which part?
For Mann Whitney U test, sir.
For the Shiproville test, correct?
Yes.
That's why. So we have to use what? Mann-Whitney U test P1. That is what? 0.605. Done, everyone?
So, but I have a question. In
Yes.
Shipwreck test, it was showing 0.00. That was significant. But in Mann Whitney U test, it is showing 0.065.
No. Shiproville test is for the data normality. It will tell you what you have to use, parametric test or non-parametric test. If it is significant, that means data is not equally distributed. Apply all non-parametric tests. Correct?
Okay.
It was
Got it.
significant. That's why we have applied what? Mann-Whitney test, not the unpaired
Okay,
T test. So we need to report what? Mann-Whitney test p-value, not the Shipro test p-value.
Okay.
Correct, Mohit? I think I have answered now. Reshmegal.
Yes, I got it.
Done now? Everyone done? So do we have any questions, any doubts, or like any questions for me now? I'm happy to answer. Others? Any question, any doubt? Repeat the significant part. See, the first thing what we are applying is what the Shiproville test. Shiproville test will tell us whether data is equally or not equally distributed. It is coming what? 0.000 for both the variables what we have selected. Okay, that means data is not equally distributed. Correct? Now we need to apply what? Mann-Whitney U test. Even though the data what we are reporting is in what? Mean plus minus ST. But p-value of should be what? A Mann-Whitney U test, not the unpaired sample t test. Why? Because Mann-Whitney test is for the non-parametric test, not the unpaired sample t test. If it is coming non-significant, then we can report the p-value of what? Unpaired t test, but not for the Mann-Whitney U test. But here we are coming what? Significant. That means data is not equally distributed. So apply Mann-Whitney U test. We are reporting data in plus minus SD values, but p-value of should be what? A Mann-Whitney U test, not for the unpaired t test. Correct? Done, Shivam? Others, do we have any doubts? Any question? Any doubts? Any question? Okay, so I got one message. This is for only interns. I am sharing one link. So you have to fill this form. This is only for the interns, not for the individual who are in the active course enrollment. I am sharing one Google form link only for the interns. All done, everyone. So do we have any doubts, any questions? Nehita, we can't do that small recap. Small recap is not for the statistics part. Not possible actually. Okay, but I will give it a try. Okay, so let me share my screen once for the iPad part. So we can have a quick recap. Okay, so let me stop sharing my screen. Let me share my iPad screen once. Wait, give me a few minutes. Okay. Now, the most important thing before data analysis, before data analysis, the first thing what you should check is what? A data normality. The first thing is what? A data normality. Okay. For the same part, you can apply what? Go to analyze, go to explore, then select the normality, then check for the Shipro will test. If Shipro will test is coming significant, now two things will happen automatically. Whether this is significant, whether less than 0.05 or more than 0.05. If it is significant, it indicate what? That data is not equally distributed. Correct? If it is coming non-significant, that means what? Data is equally distributed. Correct? In the case of probable test coming significant, we have to apply all non-parametric tests. All non-parametric tests we have to apply. If Shipro will test is coming non-significant, that means we have to apply what? All parametric tests. That means pair t-test, unpaired t-test, one sample t-test, and all. Now, in the Wednesday class, we have learned about the one sample t-test. First thing is the one sample t-test. Then we learn about the unpaired sample t-test, also known as independent sample t-test and paired sample t-test. Sample t-test. Now, this is all for the data that is equally distributed. That means Shipro will test is not significant. Now, what about Shipro will is coming significant? That means we have to use all tests that is non-parametric. So we will use what? One sample. That means Wilcoxon one sample t-test. Wilcoxon one sample. What about the unpaired sample t-test? We have to use Mann-Whitney U-test. Mann-Whitney. What about the paired sample t-test? We have to use Wilcoxon test. Two sample. Done. So this was the brief about the today's class, what we have applied, Nahita. So if you know all this test, what test we actually have to apply, then it is completely fine to go. No issue. Done. Clear now? Okay. Others, do we have any doubts? Crystal clear? Okay, Shivam. Thank you. Crystal clear. Okay. Others, do we have any doubts? Any question now? Thank you, Aftab. Thank you, Meghna. Thank you, Shinaz. Okay. Thank you, Gopni. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Shivam. Okay. So I think we can wind up now if we have no more questions or doubts for me. If you have so, then you can chat with me personally. If you want, you can message in the group as well. We can discuss openly as well. No issue. Done, everyone? Can we wind up now? No more questions? Yes? Okay. So I think we can wind up now. Thank you so much, everyone. Yes, Gopni. Mainly by tomorrow, you will get the classes, all the classes, for sure. Okay, then. I think we can wind up now. Thank you so much, everyone.